What's going on, everyone? This is Vince from Life with Vince Lou, and it's been 3 months since I switched on over to a vegetarian diet. And by vegetarian diet, I mean that I'm eating more whole foods, plant-based foods, versus the eating chips, French fries, all day type of vegetarian. So technically that's vegetarian. And then also the type of vegetarian that I am, I'm not eating meat, but I'm still eating egg-based products. I won't eat eggs themselves, but if it's baked into my bread, I'm still gonna eat the bread. If it's baked into my ice cream, is it baked into ice cream? Or if it's made into my ice cream, I'm still gonna eat the ice cream. So the approach that I've taken with my way of eating and kind of mixing vegetarianism in, I do more of an if it fits your macros type of approach. So I'm tracking everything, on MyFitnessPal. I know exactly how many calories are going into my body, how much protein, carbs, and fat. So yes, I am getting enough protein because I track my food, and therefore I know exactly how many grams of protein I am getting in per day. Also, I practice intermittent fasting just because it fits better with my lifestyle. I typically will wake up around 5:15 to go to jiu-jitsu at 6. I don't like eating before because it makes me feel slow. So typically I won't eat before, and then when I come back from jiu-jitsu, I'll go on my run, and then when I get back from my run, I will drink a cup of coffee, and then the cup of coffee will hold me on over till about 12 or 1, and then at that point, I'll have my first meal. So with that being said, why did I decide to switch to a more vegetarian diet? So it was actually inspired by reading Scott Jurick's Eat and Run. The book came out a few years ago, but I finally got the time to read it, and he was detailing in his book. If you don't know who Scott Jurick is, he is this awesome ultra marathoner, and meaning that he runs 100 miles, 200 miles for his race for fun, and it could take him anywhere from 12, 24, 48 hours. He actually just completed the Appalachian Trail in record time, and that was about 24 to 2,500 miles on the East Coast. So he's this amazing ultra runner, and in the book he details how when he started ultra running, he switched from I think he was on an American diet to more of a plant-based vegan diet, and mainly for recovery. And I was thinking, hey, if that did that for his recovery, then what can I do for mine? I mean, I'm not running 400 miles a week. I don't know if he runs that much, but I'm not running as much as he does. But I feel like my exercise routine is still taxing to my body. I mean, I'm going to the gym once or twice a week to power lift. I'm running 35 to 60 miles a week because I'm training for my 100-mile ultra in 2 months, and I just ran a 50-miler a few weeks ago. And then on top of that, I'm going to jiu-jitsu 4 to 5 days a week. So I was wondering what it could do for my body and its recovery. So with that being said, as far as the results, recovery, I think it's helped a lot. I mean, before on my regular day, I would go to jiu-jitsu, run, 5 to 10 miles, and then maybe even power lift that day. And I was the next day or the day following, the second day following, I was a little bit sore. Not that I was crushed or anything, but now I'm not sore at all. The only time that I've really been sore since I've started the vegetarian diet is 2 or 3 days after I ran that 50-miler. But I mean, you're gonna be sore if you run a crazy amount of miles like that. So but on a regular day, I'm not really that sore. I mean, I will 1 rep max my deadlift or my squat, and the next day I won't feel anything, in conjunction to running like 5 to 10 miles that day. The next day I don't really feel anything. So the next thing as far as results would be my taste buds. I feel like my taste buds have really adapted to the vegetarian or whole foods, right? So before when I was eating just like regular American diet, fruit really didn't taste that good to me. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's okay, right? But now, I swear, fruit is amazing, especially watermelon. I love watermelon. So I have a lot of watermelon a day. I probably have like an eighth of a big one, maybe a little bit less than that, but I have a lot of watermelon a day because it tastes so good to me. So also before when I wasn't a vegetarian, when I was eating avocados, the avocados would really taste a little bit bland to me, and they kind of taste like nothing. But now I could really taste the avocado. Like, I really like that avocado taste. So my taste buds have adapted. I actually read it in an article, or read it in a book somewhere, I think, that your taste buds change, and I didn't really believe it. And I was like, yeah, I guess, but I don't know, we'll see. And it's crazy because my taste buds really did adapt. So also, at first, the first month or so, I was craving meat. I mean, I would go to family parties, I'd go out to eat, you know, my friend is grabbing a burger, and it would make me want a burger as well. And I had to kind of get through that hump of like saying, no, I'm going to stick with this. I feel so good. I'm going to stick with it. But after that month, it's super easy to say no now. And it's not even like a second thought. Like, see me, like, no, if you have a meat substitute, cool. If not, you know, if I'm at a family party or something, I'll usually just pick it out or go with the vegetarian options. And then the cool thing is also, I feel like, or maybe it's just in my head, but the people around me have kind of adapted to that, and they make sure to bring vegetarian options, you know. So, and that helps everyone else that's there as well, because then they have healthier options rather than a bunch of fried foods, a bunch of things with oil and meat and everything like that. So as far as the brain fog, I never really had that issue of like having crazy amounts of brain fog, so that doesn't really, I feel like it doesn't apply to me, but I just feel like normal. As far as my energy levels, I feel like I have more energy, not the type of energy like pre-workout energy when they're all like, yeah, like hyped, but it's more of, I gauge it by not needing the mid-afternoon nap that I used to need. Like before, I would, you know, exercise, come back, and then I feel like, oh man, my body's tired. I would kind of need like a nap, and sometimes it would take 30 minutes to an hour, but now I really don't need it. So yeah. And then as far as my regular day of eating, what it looks like, I mean, as I said before, I don't eat until about 12 or 1, but my first meal will typically be a pita, like a pita pocket, and then I'll cook vegetarian sausage. I'll like pan fry vegetarian sausage, cut it in half, cut it in small pieces, put it into the pita pocket mixed with a bunch of vegetables like tomatoes, jalapenos, cucumbers, pepperoncinis, and what is that called? Onions, right? So it's kind of like pita pocket, if you ever had those, right? So just meat and stuff in it. So that tastes really, really good to me. With that as well, because I used to really love chips, I gotta have like, take a bite of my pita and then, you know, have a chip. But instead of chips, now it's celery and carrots with a hummus dip. So that tastes really good to me. At first, I didn't really like celery, and it was not that good to me, but now I have it all the time. So I make sure to go buy a big bag at Costco, because I'll have at least 2 long sticks a day. Yeah. And then, so that's my first meal. As far as like a couple snacks that I have throughout the day, it's going to be a cookie butter sandwich. So 2 slices of bread, 2 tablespoons of cookie butter, and then I will put agave nectar in between, and that is really, really good. So with that as well, I'll have a ton of watermelon. As I said before, I usually typically will eat like 500 to 1,000 grams of watermelon a day, because it tastes really good to me. And then for dinner, I'm usually having like a fried rice type of meal, where I'll cook, you know, a half cup to 1 cup of uncooked brown rice, mix that with a bunch of vegetables. So celery, carrots, broccoli, onions, jalapenos, and whatever really I could find at the store that I think will go good in my fried rice. Drizzle that with a little bit of stir fry sauce, and it's really, really good. After dinner, I have a smoothie. So my smoothie will consist of frozen berries, usually strawberries and blueberries, and then also frozen mangoes. So I've really recently started trying out frozen mangoes, and those are really good. And then also add half of an orange, and then frozen banana, but the banana it's not frozen banana store bought. It's ones that I purposely leave to ripen, and I'll peel them and then break them in half and then put them in the freezer. So I put half of a banana into my smoothie, mainly because the banana, once it's really sweet, it'll sweeten up your smoothie, because the frozen berries and the frozen mangoes, they typically don't have that much taste, and so the banana is able to sweeten that smoothie, making it taste really, really good. So, and if it's not sweet enough, I'll usually add half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of agave nectar. So that's what I have. And then also, I cannot end the day without eating some form of ice cream. I have to have ice cream, either in the form of Halo Top, or in the form of an ice cream sandwich, or just ice cream in general. Like, that's my main thing. And I think that's why it's so hard to give up egg-based products, because eggs are in ice cream, right? And or dairy's in ice cream. So, and I know, some people might say, well, they have like vegan options and stuff like that, but I'm also trying to balance like how I'm feeling and my wallet, because sometimes those, even Halo Top, can get really expensive really quickly. So, but those boxes of ice cream sandwiches, it's like $2.50 for 16. And if you just think about that, like the calorie per dollar spent, it's just more cost effective. So that's why, that's another, factor to take into consideration. So I'll buy organic when I can, but I will take into consideration the cost of it as well. So final thoughts, it's really hard for me to say that I'll never eat meat again, but for now I feel so good. Everything doesn't hurt. My training's going well. Food tastes better to me. I don't get that lethargic feeling. I just feel really good. I am going to get a blood lipid panel pretty soon, just to make sure that my my hormone levels and my nutrient levels are good to go. But typically also I will eat a multivitamin a day, or it's actually men's one a day, but I have to take 2. It says to take 2, so that's kind of misleading. So, but it's the gummy, so it has everything, everything else that I need. For now, I don't. Once I get that blood lipid panel, I'll really know like where my deficiencies are, and then I'll be able to adjust from there. But for now, it's hard to say that I'll never eat meat. As I said, but yeah, I feel great. Maybe one day I'll go vegan, but it just seems to be really difficult, especially when you're going out, and there's a lot of vegetarian options, but when it really, really limits you to a further kind of exponential factor when you are at family parties and you can't eat certain things because they have dairy. It's dairy based, right? So so thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed that video. Comment down below if you have any comments, questions, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you're not following me on the gram, it's at Life with Vince Lou, 2 U's, and you'll be able to follow my daily journey. I usually post the same things pretty much every day on my Instagram story, just because I do the same things every day and I eat the same things every day. And I also want to show everyone on my Instagram, like, if you stick with it, you'll get the results, right? So I'm just documenting my journey. And if you care to follow, please give me a follow. So other than that, Thanks for watching again. See y'all soon.